ITV's Cold Feet, which returns for its
I bet you had this on
series.
VHS back in the day, didn't you?
I did do, yeah. Cold Feet is back for its 9th series on Monday. This is the Mike Bullen created relationship drama starring James Nesbitt, Robert Bathurst, Faye Ripley, John Thompson, and Hermione Norris. Last series saw Adam, James Nesbitt, kind of fall slightly in love with Karen, Hermione Norris. They've been friends since the 90s. They've been through ups and downs, but they've never really had a lot of on-screen time as the two characters, and they sort of have found this love that feels, on one hand, really surprising if you'd watched the original show, but strangely normal and authentic and believable in this new incarnation of the series. Things get more complicated this time around with the friends trying to wrap their heads around this new relationship. There's Jenny, who has gotten over the breast cancer, which was a big theme last year, but it's still trying to struggle with what,
what happens next, isn't it?
What do you do next when you've beaten cancer? Her hair's growing back. This is a really emotive scene where she sits at her dressing table and takes her wig off, and you see the effects of the chemo. Then there's David, who is struggling to come to terms with Adam and Karen's relationship, but is doing better. He's not homeless anymore. He's working in the cafe. He seems more at peace with himself.
And living above the cafe.
And living above the cafe. He seems more at peace with himself. And even his relationship with Jenny and Pete, which has been rocky over the course of the entire series, they've sort of come to his rescues and give him home-cooked meals once a week. I said to Matt before we started, it's kind of a hard show to review because it's just the same good show, strong performances, funny when it needs to be, moving when it needs to be.
My question, I've got a couple, because this is one of your favourites, or it was the sort of original incarnation.
Yeah.
Did you think when they brought it back that it would run as long as it has? Because it's, if it does another series, it will have run for as long as the original.
The final series of Cold Feet ended so brilliantly that I think whatever they do to end this is going to feel like a bit of a damp squib. And I don't have the same affinity with it that I had. But
Why is that?
I suppose it feels a bit heightened now.
Okay. I mean, I think as it's gone on, they've got to deal with sort of slightly different issues. It's odd that Pete and Jenny, I think, have had the best storylines since the revival. We had the depression storyline with Pete, and last series Jenny's cancer. I mean, I love that scene between Pete and the daughter. There's a scene where she's told her mum she wished she died, and then she regrets it, and then he starts crying, have a go at me instead. And I thought that was brilliantly done. I liked as well, I think, and they did this in the last series a little bit before Adam and Karen got together. They're trying to do the separation of the character of Adam to the actor James Nesbitt, because James Nesbitt is so charming, but Adam's got this sort of, certainly the older Adam, he's trying to hang on to that youth, which I think is a good thing about having that comparison to the original series. You've seen him as a charming young man, but the jokes he had aren't working as well as we saw this first episode. He's got, he's under caution at work. He could have lost his job over some inappropriate jokes and things like that. And I think it shows the wider sort of changing in attitude over the last 20 years.
No,
well.
I'd agree.
I like the way that Mike Bullen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Worked in the changing landscape and how the characters in their 40s and 50s are struggling to adapt. Robert Bathurst's character David has often been sort of like the fool of the group, but here, Adam, who's always been seen as the cool, calm, collected person, he's sort of seeing himself in the deep end as well. And I like those scenes with the boss sort of going, it is a different world now. You can't say this, it's not as sort of male-centric a workplace as the world used to be. And I think I like they're doing the issue stories, but giving them to characters that we have known for years and years.
And they don't beat you over the head with them.
No, you have to sort of think about it. And again, this is a really good. We were talking with Paul about Death in Paradise. This is something where you can get home after work on a Monday and just go. You know these characters. You can spend time with them. This is going to be another series that we enjoy, I'm sure.
One thing I didn't like so much is the end of the episode saw Karen and Adam possibly moving in together, and then the kids all saying, I'm taking a break, I'm doing it. And I don't like the sort of convoluted relationship that the kids are together, so Adam's son is with Olivia. I mean, I thought all the abortion stuff in Series 7 was really well handled, but I just think that it makes the world a bit more insular because they're all connected. And that is a less appealing part of it for me. It's a tiny gripe. They're minor gripes. Then it's a hard show to pick.
I think there seem to be sort of minimal new characters here, apart from David's boss / love interest Mary. Like in the past, we struggled with Leanne Best and Siobhan Finneran and Art Malik and people like that coming into
I think they struggle. What they struggle with is widening the world. I noticed, particularly watching this one, everyone's connected, and so there isn't it's not as even as if they pop and see other people. Really, it's quite an insular thing, but it's a minor gripe.
I think the exception to that rule is the character played by the guy who was in Humans. He was the other cancer patient.
That was brilliant, and
Jenny.
Actually, I remember really enjoying the relationship early on with James Bolam and John Thompson.
Yes.
In the early returners. Brilliant, just those two together. But over the course of this new run, they haven't really widened the world out.
I suppose, we'll sort of like the love interest they've brought in mainly, trying to put someone else in this new environment, isn't it?
Yeah, and like I say, it's a minor gripe because it's a show I enjoy and look forward to every week. It's Cold Feet. It is Mondays on ITV at 9 o'clock. 6 episodes this time, and the cast who you can read my chat with each and every one of them on the website now at thecustardtv.com. They're sort of ambivalent about the 10th series. They say if it happens, it happens, but if this is the end at the end of this one, then it could well be, because ITV is all about how well it does on social media, how well it does in the ratings, and I think it's been steady, and I think it has found a new audience, but it's just whether... I think the consensus seemed to be they would do it if it was commissioned.
Yeah.